Hello guys, welcome to the top 5 hearing or hear topics or sessions that I've got. I've chosen five best of the last 20 sessions that I've done as examples. Now hearing is around the ears. It also has some structural format to it. Sort of like you can hear objects around you as well as hearing noise and things of that nature. So for me, it's very much a solid structure type technique as well as a hearing technique. Let's kick into it, guys, and let's go with our first example. Alright, we have 061180. This is of the ball drop in Times Square, New Year's Eve 2006. That's what it says. Pictures of this site or this target is of the ball, and we've got some old pictures of the ball as well and some additional information. So basically it's about the ball itself. Let's kick into hearing. Alright, so what we have is we have my head, and we have a long straight structure, and we have it spreading out at the bottom. It also looks like we're supporting a ball, or it looks like it's attached to this long structure. What we've got here is back behind head, the structure. Heavy structure, feeling stiff, thick, dense, major. Shape felt wide at bottom. So it looks like this is spreading out at the bottom with a long thing, and it looks like it's got a ball. That's kind of cool because, you know, not knowing what the structure is, that's pretty good insight into it. But anyway, let's go into hearing number 2. What we've got here is a form of my body. Half of it looks like it's got a whole lot of balls. Let's look at this side. Okay, left side feels squeezed, pressure, busy, attention. Left side feels many things, right side clear. So I've got little circles on this, and looking at the ball, we've got little lights all over the thing. So if I'm feeling the balls or the bumps, it's very much evident here. Here 3, what we've got is my head. Looks like I've got a couple of ears, and something is flowing down my back of my head, down my back. I've got here flows, feel structures in body, feel like headphones going down, back. That's where attention is going. So it's obviously going down. So as far as moving this ball down, it looks like I can detect the intention of seeing the ball go down. And yeah, the ball goes down in Times Square. So I fully believe that that is very much the structure of the ball. That's very much the feeling of the ball. And that's very much the movement of the ball. Going down, has lumps all over it, and the structure in which it is moved. Alright, so that is 061108. And that is hearing. The next impression we have is 061122, and this is of honeybees. Let's get to the hearing section of this session, and we'll kick into it. So honeybees, I'll bring up the pictures. We have got all the honeybees. We've got the keepers, we've got the hives, we've got the bees, and we've got the honey at the end. So hearing is very much here. So under hearing 1, I've got a shape in my head. I'm saying feeling face structures, so I can feel things across my eyes, across the structure of my face. Across eyes feels like face. So here we go. We've got the helmet or the screen, the face screen of the equipment, and I do believe that I am detecting the form of the projection over the man's head. Hearing number 2, what we have here is a picture of my head, and I'm describing an impression that's coming through. So let's go. Lowered eyes, heavy eyes, dragged down eyes, heavy, all. So I've put little arrows saying that it actually felt like something was on my face and gravity was pulling it down. So it felt like everything was compelled to go down or look down, or have lowered in some sense. I kind of think it's the weight of the equipment that the person's wearing, and that's what I'm feeling, is the weight and everything being drawn down. They may be looking down also, obviously they are, because the hives are on the ground. But that's what I believe that is what I was feeling, is the headgear dragging down, the attention's going down, everything's heavy. And that's my hearing number 2. Hearing 3, what have we got here? So I've got my arms in their RV position. I've got my head or face. Now the descriptions I've got is straps, arms, head, felt. So definitely got straps across the arms and across my head. Feet cold skin. So if we look at a couple of these pictures, what we can see is there's a lot of elasticy around the gloves, for the straps around the arms, and I can understand that. You don't want bees getting inside. I also feel the straps across my face or from my head, so if anything, that'll belong to this guy, with the straps that look like it goes across his vision or around his vision. That's the head part. So very much the keeper, what he's wearing, where it's felt. This is very much the equipment or the suit. This feels like the headgear. This also feels like the headgear as well, saying that there's face structures and you can feel the objects quite easily. All right, so that's pretty much the hearing from 061122, and that is honeybees. Thanks very much, guys. Now we have 061206. This is the JetPack impression target. And let's bring up the photos. So basically the photos for this is very much just the one photo. Let's go across to hearing. Let's see what we can hear. All right, hearing 1, loud noise, intently. So I've got my head. I've got something that seems like it's coming out of my ear. I can feel the intention. Listen intently at sound. Upper body, stiff, still. Left ear. All right. So this looks like this one is belonging to here too. So let's have a look at here 1. So this one here, if this one is of the JetPack, it's going to make a hell of a noise. Now, the way I felt this, the way I hear loud noise, is it feels like my ears are beating to a drum. You can feel the difference or the distinctive sounds coming through, but you can't hear them. It's sort of like you feel the vibrations, but you can't hear the noise. And that's how I draw these guys. So it comes out of my left ear. It feels like there's a lot of activity, and maybe the eardrum, or it feels like the eardrum is picking up on sound, but I just can't hear it. But there's a lot of activity on that eardrum, So that's how I drew it. That's how I draw it. Loud sounds. So I can feel the beats. I'm thinking that there's a lot of loud sounds which are causing impacts to my eardrums, which I can feel in the impression. I can't hear it too much. All I can feel is the noise. And that's what I think on this side is this guy's listening to the engine roaring in his ear, and that's all he can hear. Hearing 2. So what I've got here is a picture of myself in my head and a whole lot of mess underneath where my legs would usually be. So what I've got here is upper body is stiff and still. pointing to where my legs are, I've got moving legs, tingly, moving legs and tingly. So the AOL I've put here is running. So it looks like that part is stiff, which I can guess on this JetPack would be quite stiff because you need a certain amount of control. But the legs are a bit dangly, a bit, going side to side, balancing out the angles of the flying. And that's where I think the moving legs is, or the tingly legs is coming from, is the dangling of the JetPack, and he's keeping his upper body taut. Hearing 3. What I've got here is a picture of my body and my head, and over time I just scribbled in more where I felt stiffness around my neck and my head. So I've got stiff area, pressure overhead, structure across face, AOL suit. So as far as JetPack goes, it is a suit. It's got his helmet, it's got his probably his flying gear. It might have some extra support because he's moving quite a lot. You can see in the picture that he's got some big support in the back of his head, hopefully to stop his head from whiplashing and all that sort of thing because of the speed that he might be traveling. So as far as I'm concerned, that is what the guy's wearing, and that's how it is felt. And that, here 4. What I've got here is a picture of my head. Across face feels like a wall, expanded and shape. So looking at the helmet there, it could have a visor on it. It might have a detachable visor, but I think that's exactly what I'm trying to bring across as the helmet of the JetPack person. All right, guys, thank you for that one. Let's move on to the next one. So the next one we got is 080109. 080109 is of our dinosaur mate, and let's bring up his pictures. So we've got him dressed in the costume, visiting kids in a school. So let's get to the hearing and we'll see what we can find out, what we're picking up. So hearing here, we've got a picture of my body. Looks blocky and looks like it's assembled. Feels like a structural suit on my body. Yes, it does. And it does look like one too. Structures in arms and neck supported. Movement, tingly in neck area. So maybe he's moving a little bit. So what have I got here? Waterfalls. Yeah, no, that's not going to happen. It's not a waterfall. But I can understand why the structural suit is being felt, because it looks like it's being put together in parts anyway, or sewn together. Head's apart, gloves are apart, top's apart, the neck is apart, the tail is apart, and the pants are apart. So structures, I think that's basically the suit that I'm feeling. Hearing 2, what I've got here is a picture of my head and my body, and these are the descriptions. Structure around head, solid, neck feels exposed, okay. Structural feeling, and a block. So there must be something around the neck area that feels like a big lump. Block left. Not entirely sure what that is, but as far as neck exposed, maybe there's a zip or something that needs to be undone. Structural feelings, okay, that'll be the helmet or the head of the animal that he's dressing up as. Structure around head, maybe the head is quite solid and not made out of cotton like the rest. But anyway, that's of the head of the dinosaur, I believe. So let's try hearing 3. Shoulders and neck. So I'm feeling shoulders and neck. What am I feeling? Exposed to airflow, open. Cool flows felt, upper back, cool face. Feel points on face, feel cold. ears, nose, lips, surface cold. So it looks like it was a cold day in the classroom, and the guy is just cold. He's got cold bits on his face, you know, things we do for the kids. The kids look like they've got big wintry jackets and scarves and everything else, so it must be cold then. But anyway, it looks good. So really just another descriptor on the costumes that are being presented in the photos, and maybe that the environment is just a bit colder than usual. All right, so that is the dinosaur. Let's kick on to the next one. All right, our last one, 080123. This is of 080123 Hot Springs. All right, so let's bring in the Hot Springs picture. Which there really is only one picture of it. So all right, so here we go. We have got hot springs. There's really only one picture, and it's the lady enjoying herself inside the hot spring. And yeah, so let's kick into it. Let's go to here. Here. All right, it's got a bit of a mess here for here one. What we've got is a person, that's me, sitting down in my session. And I've got a lot of descriptions being here. So feelings, feeling flows, tingles, flowing energy over arms. Face, left side of face, temperature changes. AOL, jet ski. Now, it felt like my arms, as you can see in the picture, her arms, or one of her arms is getting covered by water. And I think it's just her sitting in the water. Some parts of her body is under the water, some are exposed, and that's all we're feeling is just the energy and the heat around this person while she's enjoying her spa. Basically, what we've got here: energy flows, tingles, flowing energy, temperature changes. So yeah, that pretty much sums it up. Now, as far as hearing 2, structure in head, eyes, protection. So let me bring up another picture. See if we can't find. All right, so now that we've got 080123 up and running, we've got the pictures and what we've got. So in hearing 2, I've got a structure, head, eyes, protection, structure going down the back from the head. It looks like something's being elevated on each side. So what I did is I actually went to the site where this underground thing was, and I found something which looks exactly like that. Not exactly like 2, but almost exactly like number 3. And that's the teepee that sits on the top side. So what have we got here for hearing 3? We've got a triangular structure. It has some cold spot and some extra structure around this part where it converges, and structure times 3. So it looks like it's got several sides. Structure, yeah, I don't know what that is, times 3. Not sure, but it does look like a triangle. This one looks like the start of a triangle, and going down each side. But what I'm getting at is here 3. There's a teepee above the caves, and I believe that this structure is of the teepee on site where the spa is. All right, guys. That is 080123. Is there anything more? Is there a hearing 4? No, there isn't. So as far as this goes, it's very much structural feeling of waves and energy, and these two are structural counterparts which aren't in the feedback, but I believe are actually on site, and that's what I picked up on. So thanks very much, guys. That is the 5 here sense topics, impressions that I've got for you. Hopefully next I might have some magnitude or some of those matrix ones coming to you soon. Thanks very much, and I'll catch you later. See ya.